classics and all-time favorites.
Welcome back to Unidentified Theories. On today's episode, we got the strange disappearance of D.B. Cooper. You may be wondering, who exactly is D.B. Cooper, and how did he disappear? Well, for that answer, we've got to start at the beginning, the very beginning. Dan Cooper is an unidentified man who hijacked a Boeing 727 aircraft between Portland and Seattle on the afternoon of November 24th, 1971. The man purchased his airline ticket using the name Dan Cooper, but because of a news miscommunication, he became known as D.B. Cooper. On Thanksgiving Eve, November 24th, 1971, a middle-aged man carrying a black suitcase approached the flight counter of Northwest Orient Airlines at Portland International Airport. He identified himself as Dan Cooper and used cash to purchase a one-way ticket on Flight 305, a 30-minute trip north to Seattle. Cooper boarded the aircraft and took seat 18C. Cooper was a quiet man who appeared to be in his mid-40s. He was seen wearing a business suit with a black tie and a white-collared shirt. Shortly after the plane took off, Cooper handed a note to the flight attendant. The flight attendant put the note in her pocket, ignoring it. Cooper then leaned towards her and whispered, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Dan Cooper then stated his demands: $200,000 in American currency, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the aircraft upon arrival. FBI agents assembled the ransom money in 10,000 unmarked $20 bills and gathered the 4 parachutes to fulfill Cooper's demands. At 5:24 p.m. post-standard time, Cooper was informed that his demands had been met, and at 5:39 p.m. the aircraft landed at Seattle-Tacoma Airport. During refueling of the aircraft, Cooper outlined the plan to the cockpit crew, a southeast course towards Mexico City, and he requested the aircraft to stay below 10,000 feet. Shortly after 8 p.m., somewhere between Seattle and Reno, Nevada, Cooper jumped out the rear door of the Boeing 727 with 2 of the parachutes, and the money was never to be seen again. One thing worth noting is that Cooper took off his black JCPenney clip-on tie before jumping, a piece of evidence that the FBI was able to get a DNA sample from. The case was called NORJAC, standing for Northwest Hijacking, and would last for decades. The FBI then released the serial numbers of the bills stolen by Cooper. Remarkably, in the 1980s, 9 years after the hijacking, a young boy found a rotting package filled with $20 bills that matched the ransom money serial number. There was $5,800 found. The boy found the bag on a beach in Tina Bar, which is near Vancouver, Washington, while making a campfire with his father. People theorized that when Cooper jumped out, the money possibly fell in the Washougal River before making its way to Tina Bar. In the year that followed the hijacking, several letters have been sent out to the FBI, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Los Angeles Times, and Seattle Times, either confessing to the crimes or claiming to be D.B. Cooper's brother. Leads were tracked all over the country, and more than 800 suspects were considered in the first 5 years of the investigation. All but 24 suspects were eliminated from consideration. Well, that's all we got for today's episode of Unidentified Theories. Tune in next week to hear about the shocking case of O.J. Simpson.